What up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends X-Men 20th Anniversary Series, X-Men Comic, Rogue, and Pyro 2-pack action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's take a look at Rogue and Pyro. Starting off to hit you with some brief comic knowledge here, these two costumes are two different eras from the comics. St. John Allardyce, aka Pyro, has mainly his classic attire back in his first appearance from Uncanny X-Men issue number 141, while Anna Marie LeBeau, aka Rogue, has her X-Men Legacy attire which debuted in X-Men Legacy Annual issue number 1 back in 2009. Now just because these are costumes from different eras doesn't mean these two don't have a connection. In fact, they were part of the Brotherhood once. Not the OG version of Magneto's Brotherhood, but part of Mystique's Brotherhood, which was the third version of that faction. During that run, the attempt to kill Senator Kelly led into the events of the iconic Days of Future Past storyline. Rogue and Pyro battled the X-Men alongside each other in Uncanny issue number 158. Shortly after, Rogue wanted freedom and pleaded for help to control her powers and defected to the X-Men team in issue number 171. Something Mystique was not happy about, as she thought Charles telepathically forced her to join. But in issue number 178, during Mystique's X-Mansion break-in to take Rogue back to the Brotherhood, Rogue told her she joined the X-Men willingly and reformed herself as one of the X-Men's greatest heroes ever. This made Mystique hold a grudge against her daughter, however she accepted her choice. So this X-Men Legacy version of Rogue is actually Hasbro's second attempt at this version of Rogue. The first one was back in 2012, 2013 I want to say, and that was supposed to be a running change with Emma Frost, I believe. So this one's more modernized in their updated body molds. The other one was more of their older female body molds, and that one had like the crazy cleavage out exposed, the gambit blinders. But this one is definitely all covered up. And that figure never even hit the market. Whatever was sold online, like on eBay, I remember seeing it in the thousands range if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a closer look and see what's up with this figure. Now taking a close look at the head sculpt, I gotta say this face came out really pretty. I mean, just love the way how it captures Rogue's Southern Belle sweetness, you know, it's just really nice. I'm definitely a bigger fan of this head sculpt than the last head sculpt they gave us of Rogue, and I'll bring that out to compare in a few, but really just admiring the beauty of this head sculpt. Love the eyes, how it's painted in green. Dark lipstick, you got the white bangs in the front, which has more of this grayish painted tone, which I'm fine with, looks more realistic. You got the hair sculpted really nice, so I do like that. Taking a look at the rest of the body, she has this scarf sort of thing going on, and it's the same reuse as Kamala Khan, so they just used that. I mean, pretty clever reuse that piece. And yeah, that's in a plain white color. The paint on mine came out pretty solid, I gotta say. You know, like the green paint, the white parts were the X's and the lines, that came out pretty clean. The inside of the arm came out pretty terrible. It's like she has this patch right there, so you could see that the skin tone was painted over the green. So you could just, I don't know why, but there's this just weird, awkward looking patch. The rest of the arm sleeves look good. You got that solid green painted color. And she has a new lower torso. I have not seen this torso before because it has some wrinkles sculpted, you know, on the side right there, on the lower right corner, even on the left side as well. And taking a look at the back right there, she has this skirt piece. You got the X-Men belt sculpted. Got pouches on the side, and the skirt piece is really on there. I don't see this thing moving at all. Just slightly on the back, exposing her cakes. Actually, it does move a little bit higher. Oh my god, whoa, what is that? She has a big freaking butthole, man. Gambit, what have you done to her, mon ami? And then she has the new pinless technology, so I am very happy about this. This looks smooth. I really love the pinless joints. They just look really smooth, really great. I like the new legs that we're getting here. She has the thicker thighs, and then she's got like the white right here. Everything else is plain. You got pegals at the bottom of the feet. Now for accessories, she comes with two closed fisted hands, and she's got the two open hands that we always see with the females. Lastly, she comes with an alternate head with an angry expression. And I always wanted a Rogue with an angry expression because I like to do things with photography in battle poses because you could make so much out of it. But I gotta say, this didn't land well. It didn't. Something's off with the top corner of this lip to my right. And it doesn't help that this eye is off-centered as well. So this on the same side, it just looks bad, man. Definitely did not hit the mark here. I do like the lipstick paint color. That came out nice. And the teeth came out nicely sculpted. That I will give it. The hair this time is a little bit different. It's flowing, so it's not straight down like the last one. So you get a little bit of more flow. The only thing, if this is flowing here, the ponytail should be flowing a little bit off to the side. I don't know. I just wish this was kind of articulated. And as I said before, I would bring out their Jim Lee Rogue head sculpt and compare it to this. Yeah, this one's so much superior than this one. And let's try a head swap here. As you can see, the Jim Lee Rogue head is pretty big, but man, this Rogue, the X-Men Legacy Rogue head on the Jim Lee body looks great. I really, really like this. You know, if you want to switch up your Rogue hairstyle, you know, she won't have the green headband. This would probably pass for a nice civilized Rogue too. Yeah, I'm so down to get like X-Men animated series versions of their casual outfits. I think that would be so freaking cool. It's not popped in all the way. Let me pop it in all the way. But yeah, that does not look good. Looks like she has no neck, so I would just recommend to have it halfway and it'll look good. Damn, y'all, this looks really good. I'm a fan of this. Here she is with the alternate head, and I think you could do some real cool stuff with this. Now, to cover articulation with Rogue, her head moves that far up, so it looks really high, and it moves that far down, left, right. She does pivot a good amount, and it rocks around. Her arms move that far up. That's about it. Down, all around. She's got the shoulder swivel, elbow swivel, single jointed elbows, and you got the wrist swivel, wrist hinge. She's got the diaphragm joint that moves that far forward, that far back. She's got the upper torso swivel. It pivots real good and it rocks around. Her legs move that far apart, so that's real good. She only kicks up that high though. Let me see if I could get a little higher. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher. That's about it, but she moves that far back with her legs, so okay. And it rocks around. She's got the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and testing out the pinless double jointed knees here. Not so good. A little more than 90 degrees, yeah, but you know, definitely far from heel to the butt right there. Her ankles move really far up and really far down, and her ankle pivot rocks all around. Now for some comparisons, here is our newest Rogue next to our pre-Marvel Legends X-Men movie Rogue. And if I remember correctly, I believe they eliminated the flight ability from this Rogue. She had different styles of looks to this version, so she had a hood on one point, I think a cape, and maybe a robe as well. So since this one has a robe, I'm gonna do a swap and see how that looks. And there you go. Man, the legs on this one was absolutely awful. They're so bow-legged. But moving that out the way, what do you guys think? I think from the front you might be able to do something with it, but it doesn't look good on the side. I believe it just looks too puffy, especially with this ponytail, you know, gets in the way if you want to put this hood up. Yeah, no, this is definitely a no for me. I'm not going to use this in a pic, but I love exploring my options, so I have the hair out, so I think that looks better. Again, a little bit puffy, but you might be able to get away with something. Here she is next to the Jim Lee style Rogue. Here she is next to the Marvel Legends X-Men Legacy Cyclops. And this man needs no introduction when next to Rogue. Here is the Ragin' Cajun Gambit. And lastly, here's a family reunion with Rogue next to Mystique and Nightcrawler. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Now looking at the Australian badass Pyro, I gotta say he looks really good. Much better than the Toy Biz version. But I gotta say I would have preferred a slender build, more like the Pizza Spider-Man. I think that would have best suited his physique. Hasbro really made this guy hit the gym hard. But he's on that Spider-Man 2099 white suit body mold. We've seen it on Bullseye, we've seen it on Moon Knight this year. But we get this new apparatus with the flamethrower backpack built in on top of it, so this looks really good. And as you can see, it's completely removable, and these tubes are also removable as well, so you know, give you some display options if you want to be creative in whatever way you want. And this is how he looks like without the apparatus on. And taking a look at the head sculpt, I really like it. You get this tan light colored mask. You got the big red lens on his eyes, so that's really cool. The hairstyle is pretty cool too. I really like how that came out. He has this spiked up looking hairstyle, and the older version of Pyro had this wavy kind of hairstyle. So they went with the hairstyle that was changed over time. I like the smirk on his face. I think that's really cool. And there's a look at the apparatus right there. You got the yellow diamond shaped thing that's sculpted right there. I got some paint bleed, but not too bad. You know, looking at the rest, the backpack right there, the flamethrower has some nice sculpts. You get these gears on top. You know, for the most part, pretty cool. And these tubes connect all the way to his wrist, and you get some ports right there, and I'll show you that later in the accessory segment. And for the rest of the legs, you get that all solid yellow paint, and the boots are painted in red. I wish these were sculpted, so it's kind of a cop-out. And then the feet, you know, are plain, got the peg holes at the bottom. Now for accessories, he comes with an alternate head with this crazy looking grin, and I gotta say, I really like it. I heard some people say that they don't like it. I mean, that's fine, that's their opinion, but I really like it. I think it fits his attitude. I really like the sculpting here. I can admire it for days. Love the wrinkle sculpting on the forehead. Even on the mask right here, on the ears, you get more of that sculpting compared to this one, you know. So, and this is the one I think I'm gonna put on display to give my Brotherhood some more lively expression on the shelf. Then next up, he comes with these two flame effects that we've seen on Human Torch and Iron Fist previously, and I feel like we could have gotten something more creative out of Hasbro. Now, Pyro is a pyrokinetic. It's one of the coolest abilities. He has the ability to control and manipulate fire. Now, he can't create it. I think that was the later Pyro down the line. Simon Lasker, I think his name was. He was able to create fire, but, you know, that's why John Allardyce has this flamethrower backpack that he can ignite the fire and just control it and wields it how he please. But he's very creative with how he wields it, as he created fire constructs in the shape of claws, shields, etc. I don't have this flame completely covering his hand. I do have it coming out the port right here. As you can see, that tiny flame is connected to the port, so it looks like it's coming out of his flamethrower. But, you know, you can plug them in if you want to do something like this. What I did was take the very tip at the end of the flame effect here and just plug that in the port like so, and he can hold it up. So at least that looks very nice when you do that. However, if you want him shooting something straight, yeah, it's gonna keep falling off if you want like a straight flame effect like so. No, it's not that bad actually. You could get away with it. It was just falling on me so many times when I tried to do some shoots. I did try to use some different effects, like the Storm Collectibles flamethrower effect that came with Sector, the exclusive version, and yeah, unfortunately that doesn't fit in the port, and that would have been an awesome look. I wish he came with something like this. Also, the Ultimate Goblin Build-A-Figure flame effect on his back, I did port this into the tubes here, and I created some sort of shield. The only thing is, wait, you're going to run into some balance issues, but if you're patient enough, you will definitely nail it. Then the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat 1 version of Scorpion flame effect looks very good and is one of my favorite pieces for display. And for fire constructs, you could use the Demogoblin glider effect. I mean, that looks really cool. It won't fit in the port. I don't know, maybe you could work something out like this. It might look a little funny, but you know, I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying here. Now to cover articulation with Pyro, his head moves that far up, so that's good. Moves that far down, left, right. You do have some good pivoting, and it rocks around a little bit. His arms move that far up, so apparatus doesn't really hinder it. I think that's the max anyway, that it moves all the way up, and then it moves all around. You're gonna get the tubes twisted here, but you know, easy workaround. Got the butterfly joints that rock back and forth, shoulder swivel, bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows, a little bit hindered with this sculpted glove right here. They sculpted the gloves but not the boots. Come on, man. You got the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge. Ab crunch moves that far forward, moves that far back. You got the waist swivel. Legs move that far apart. He kicks that high up, kicks that far back. You got the legs that rock around, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and heel to the Pyro butt. And you got the boot swivel. Ankles move up, down, and he has that all around ankle pivot. Now for some comparisons, comparing him to some fellow Brotherhood members. Here is Pyro next to Mystique. Here is Pyro next to Magneto. Here he is next to the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure. And finally, here he is next to the Blob Build-A-Figure. Now for my on-the-shelf segment, here is Pyro in my Brotherhood / X-Men Villains shelf. And I cannot wait for this Brotherhood to be complete. And as for Rogue, here she is on my X-Men Variant shelf. Hopefully we get more X-Men Legacy figures to accompany her. And now to wrap things up, my final ratings, I'll give Rogue a 7 out of 10. The paint is fine for the most part. Only issue I have is the flesh tone on the arm not being coated correctly and the left eye on the angry face. Other than that, for accessories, we get an extra set of hands and an alternate head. The default head is beautiful, but not feeling the angry head. Articulation is what you would expect on a Legends female figure. The pinless legs look great and brings out more smoothness to the sculpt for this new mold. Unfortunately, not much range at the knees. Hopefully these pinless joints at the legs won't restrict most females. Bad enough we don't have double jointed elbows on them, so we'll see how it plays out down the line. Pyro gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Still a good figure. I like both head sculpts. The paint colors are nice, but the flame effects and not having sculpted boots are a bummer for me. Even though I've seen some artists make him buff looking like this one in the past, the Pizza Spidey mold would have best represented the slender physique we are used to seeing him. Rating this set as a whole, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. These X-Men 20th anniversary figures are supposed to have premium paint, sculpt, and accessories to justify the spike in price point. I'm sorry, but for $50, I don't see it, as I feel we don't get that premium here. Very lackluster in accessories. I've spent $40 on 2-packs that came with way more accessories. I know people want Pyro more than Rogue out of this set to display their comic book or animated series versions of the Brotherhood, but I'm surprised that Hasbro will put Pyro in a 2-pack for this high, knowing that the Toy Biz Pyro was one of the biggest peg warmers for years. I can see this fan channel exclusive set go for a sale price soon. I think a 90s Rogue packed in with this 90s Pyro would have made more sense to fit with that timeline instead of a costume from a different era. Hopefully the next premium multi-pack will get more bang for our buck, and that's all I have to say. So now I can get back to you guys. What do you guys think of this set? What would you like to see next in a premium anniversary multi-pack? Doesn't have to be character selections. It could be accessories, articulation, etc. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Link is in the description below. Get your Marvel Legends X-Men 20th anniversary figures at Big Bad Toy Store. Link is in the description below. Check out my website xman87.com to view my photo gallery and merchandise. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the videos. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.